Thursday, Friday, we have understood what we are learning. You're all going to become a data analyst. And for that, we are going to learn few technologies. And the roadmap says that first we will be learning SQL, followed by Power BI, and then goes to Azure. And finally, we'll see the latest updates, which is going to be Fabric. So this is going to be your roadmap. Initially, to start with, we will be focusing on the technology, which is SQL, which stands for Structured Query Language. Now, from today, for the next 20 classes, it's approximately 25 hours. We are going to cover SQL, which is going to be 1/4 of your syllabus. As I said, 100 days, 100 hours. So 20 to 25 hours, we'll be learning SQL. Okay. Now, before we learn any technology, it is required to understand why are we learning this? What is the need for this? And we'll see a bit of background, right? Now, to start with, I'll be telling what is this SQL. And then, of course, I don't like to talk about history, but it is a respect that we give to the technology. We'll try to understand the history of SQL. And the most important thing is why it is still important. And finally, we'll talk about the what database we are going to learn. And as and then every technology you learn, installation becomes a first step. Now, this will be the part of the agenda that we are going to cover. The first 2 days, it was a master class on data analytics. And this is the third day. We are focusing on the first tool, first technology, which is going to be SQL. Okay. Now, let me test your memory power. Let me test your memory power. Can anyone tell me when did India won the World Cup 2011? Anyone? Anyone?
We should tell the month.
I want date. When did India lift the World Cup? 2011.
2nd April 2011.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me when was the first ever smartphone was launched? Anyone? Anyone? No
Sir,
idea.
I think in 1992, I think.
1992.
1992.
Okay, 1992. Now, let's think about November 8th, 2016.
Demonetization.
Demonetization.
And that's my birthday, sorry.
Your birthday. Okay, good. So November 8, 2016, what happened?
Demonetization.
Demonetization. Was it helpful?
No.
And
Yes.
is it helpful? Okay. And they blocked the 2000 notes as well, right? 2000 notes. That is also helpful.
No,
Was it helpful? I don't think so. It did
Helpful.
not help me.
no, it didn't help.
Okay. Let's have a separate debate class for that. And now I'm a cricket fan, and coming from a cricket player to a class trainer, of course, I need to talk about cricket. So can anyone tell me who has a record of fastest ODI 100?
AB de Villiers.
AB de Villiers. AB de Villiers. That's the right answer. Can you ever think about what happened in February 2009? Today, you people are all using WhatsApp per day. Unlimited messages, chatting, sending documents, pictures, photos, audios, stories, WhatsApp status.
WhatsApp invented, Santosh.
Yeah. So WhatsApp was launched in February 2009. I still remember the olden days where I used to get 100 messages per day. And now within 10-15 years, see the evolution that has happened in the technology where you people can send unlimited messages, right? And here you go. March 21st, 2020. What happened?
Lockdown.
Lockdown.
Corona.
Where is Corona now? No mask, no sanitizer, nothing. Right? Everything is gone, right? But we thought it was a new normal. But yeah, things have changed. And again, we are back to normal. From 2023, we are again back to normal. And but not last the least, what happened on August 23rd? What happened on August 23rd? What happened on August 23rd?
India send a satellite to moon, Santosh.
What is that satellite called? Is it satellite or mission?
Vikram lander.
Chandrayaan 3.
Chandrayaan 3.
Chandrayaan 3, August 23rd, 2023, Chandrayaan 3 was launched. Correct? Okay. Now, all this we are seeing, right? All this we are seeing, right? So we basically remember all this day. Some things we remember, some things we don't remember. Now, question to you is, if you ask a question in Google, immediately you'll get an answer. Immediately you'll get an answer. How? Just remember the tagline, something, somewhere it is stored. Right? So something somewhere it is stored. That is why you're able to get it. If I ask 1945, what happened? When did India got republic, or when did India got independence? When did Gandhiji was born? Everything you just go and ask in Google, you'll get the answer. Now, have you ever thought, how am I getting this answer? Well, very straightforward answer. They have stored somewhere. They have stored somewhere, and that is why you're able to get that information. And where they have stored in a database. They have stored in a database. Now, what is database? Database is actually a storage where you're actually storing all of your information, right? So imagine you have your smartphone. In your smartphone, all of your personal information will be there. Your photos will be there, selfies will be there, your messages will be there, right? And you would have put a lock for that. Uh, Everything is present in your smartphone. Now smartphone becomes like a storage for you. Like this, in all of this, your data, your company data, your system data, everything is stored in a place called database, right? And now if I want to ask a question, I can ask in only one language. That should be SQL. You cannot ask question to a database other than SQL. I'm telling you, okay? So if you want to ask, hey, what happened in 2019? What happened in 2018? If you want to ask this information, you have to ask in only one language, and that language will be SQL. So in Google, you go and search in English, right? You go and search in English. Hey, what happened on November 8th? What happened on January 5th? If you go and ask this, you're actually typing in English. But in the backend, what is happening? This English has been converted into a language what database understands. Database understands only one language, that is called SQL. Now, all the people are different part of the world, different part of the country. If I say that, if I talk to you in Telugu, Kannada, Hindi, English, Tamil, you people will not understand. I have to speak in a language where all of you will understand, and that language is English, right? With only English, I can communicate, I can satisfy everyone because everyone knows English. If I start speaking in my local language, hardly 10% will understand, right? So similarly, if I want to talk to a database, you cannot talk to in your own language, or you cannot talk to them in English. You have to learn one language, and that language we call it as structured query language. Remember this. This is a very, very important point. It is used to communicate with a database. So in database, data is stored. You go and ask something, but you cannot ask in English. You have to ask in a language what database understands. Database understands only one language, and that is nothing but SQL, right? And as I said, it can communicate to a database, and you can perform certain operations. For example, you go to your Amazon portal and you change your address, change your shipping address, change your phone number, change your name, change your location. All this, how it is getting updated? It is getting updated with the help of language SQL, right? Now, as I was talking about a device, that is a storage, let's talk about pen drive. So we all know, right? 90s kids will definitely know pen drive. We're all roaming with pen drive during our college days. Nowadays, no one carries it. Now everyone's gets their hard disk or they stores in this memory, like cloud. But we were all the people, we were used to use a lot of pen drives, right? So we used to have a lot of pen drives. Now, in pen drive, it is a storage. You can store 64 GB or 128 GB. You have a pen drive. In that pen drive, you have different companies. One is Transcend, one is SanDisk, one is Sony, one is Samsung, right? Now, pen drive is same, but company is different. It's a different company's product. Similarly, when I talk about a database is just not a database. It is actually having a different companies. So we have a Oracle database, we have Sybase database, we have Microsoft SQL Server, we have uh, MySQL, and we also have IBM, we have DB2. Like this, we have different companies have their different database. Just like what your pen drive has a different companies have a different brands of pen drives. Similarly, for database also, I will have different companies, right? So once you learn language, you can communicate to any database, right? See, once you learn to speak English, Whether in your India, whether you're in Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Australia, Mexico, Germany, wherever you are in the world, you can go and always speak in English. Maybe a small things can change. Maybe I'm in India, I'm speaking in a very I would say very normal words. I'm not using hi-fi vocabularies. I'm not using a fluent English, right? I'm just speaking in a very normal way. But if I go to US or UK, my fluent will change, my vocabularies will change, my way of pronunciation, my speed will increase, but English will never change. Similarly, you learn this language, you can communicate to any database. You communicate to any database because every database uses only one language, and that one language is SQL. Okay. Now, let's get into a bit of history. As I said, we don't want to focus on history and no one is going to ask you an interview, but this is a respect that we give to the technology. This is a respect that we give to the technology. What is when it was launched? So SQL was launched in the year 1970. 1970 to 2023, 53 years, 53 years, 53 years, and this technology is still in demand. After 53 years, I'm teaching you the subject. That means you should know how important it is, right? So it's not a new technology which has come in the last 5 years or 6 years. It is not something which has come in the last 5 years or 6 years. This technology has come 53 years. 53 years back it has come and we are still learning. Let's see why it is important, right? Now, it was actually researched by Raymond Boss and Donald Chamberlain. You need not remember. And initially, people we used to call SQL. Even I'm also used to call SQL. Some people call SQL. Some people call SQL. Right. So actually, there was some copyright issue that happened in the early 90s. So they have changed from SQL to SQL. But people still call SQL or SQL. So both are same. Right, you need not worry about name. Whichever is convenient for you, you call it. You call it as SQL and you call it as SQL, right? Both are same. Now, it's been 53 years. Why are we still learning? Why are we still learning? Is there any no replacement for this? Everyone has a replacement. Your 1100 phone has been replaced with your smartphone, right? Your coin booth and STD booth has been now been replaced with your maybe smartphones again, right? Your cyber centers, everything where you go and sit and use internet, now you can use in your smartphone. Your old TV box has been now changed to a LED TV now, smart TV, right? So a lot of things have changed. Why this technology is not changed? There should be a technology that has to be an updated, right? 53 years old, right? 53 years old and still we are learning. And this is the first tool that we are learning. Is it that so important? Let's see, right? Now, this is what data will be stored. Okay. You or me or our manager or the entire people in KSR will have one common thing called name. So what is my name? What is your name? What is your friend name? What is our manager name? So name is common, but what you have values will be different. Similarly, the position title means title of the employee, but it can be different. It can be student, it can be teacher, it can be manager, it can be director, it can be CEO, or it can be a founder, right? So different roles, but the heading is going to be same, right? Similarly, your age means age. Everyone will have age. Phone number, everyone will have phone number. Email ID, everyone will have email ID. A typical example how data is stored is this entire data where it is stored. This is called table. This is called table. Table is a place where the data is being stored. And you have a common fields, right? Like education requirement. This is common for everyone. So title means it's common. Education requirements common. Functional area common. Maximum pay, minimum pay, it's common. These are all called columns. These are all columns which is going to be common. In our case, if I want to speak, it's name, phone number, email. It's all called column, right? Or some people call it as fields. But if you see a complete information about that student or that employee, we call it as a row. Some people call it as row, some people call it as record. You need not remember all this. As and then you start practicing and doing practicals, automatically will remember, no need to by heart it. And finally, if I'm pointing about one value, what is the salary of a software engineer? What is a maximum salary? I'm pointing to one single point. It is called data point or data value. Again, I'm saying you being a data analyst, your 1 data point is like a 1 grain of rice. Never ever ignore it. A small mistake in a single data point can rule your completely, it can spoil your business data. So please make sure every single data point has been taken care. Now, I am still not answering your question. Why it is so important? 50 years down the line, why am I learning still this language, right? Now we have researched from most of the organizations, we have talked to most of the managers, and we have figured out in most of the projects the only one language which we are using the most in terms of data processing is SQL. We can see that 55% of all the projects, organizations, clients, everyone is using SQL, then followed by your other technologies like Python, Hadoop, R, or machine learning. Everything is follows, but one technology which we are using even today is SQL, right? So whenever people who come out of the college, right, they ask me, how important is the English? Should I know to speak English if I want to survive in IT? Right? People ask this question, okay? You know what I say? Communication is important. Yes, you have to learn English. You have to start speaking in English with your clients. But more than English, the first thing, if you want to enter into IT, I would suggest you to learn SQL. For me, SQL comes first, then only English. That important it is. That important it is. Even if you don't know to speak, I'm least bothered. But if you don't know to write the code, you're not fit for IT, right? So that is where your SQL becomes important. Why? 55% of all the projects clients are using. Let's figure out why. Let's figure out why. Okay. Now, there are a couple of use cases which I will tell you why SQL is important. There are a couple of examples which I'll give you and I'll tell you why it is important. Okay. The first example, the two topics which is really important for as part of the SQL is why it is important. It is called OLAP and OL system. Okay. OLAP and OLTP. Now, ideally, if you look at this slide, you may not understand anything. Let's revisit the slide again after seeing a couple of examples. Okay, after seeing a couple of examples, let's come back to this slide. Then we will understand better. The first thing is, imagine you're going for a shop and you buy something, and once you buy something, immediately you scan on the scanner, right? Immediately you scan on the scanner. The moment you scan, it will show you the amount that has to be paid. And the next minute you pay, your balance will change, right? Now, this type of transaction has to happen within seconds. When I say seconds, it should happen within milliseconds. Maximum your transaction should take 3 seconds or 4 seconds. You cannot stand in the shop morning to night. Morning you'll go, you'll buy something and you keep on scanning and you keep on paying, and that keeps on rotating. That is not the case. Maybe it will throw if you don't have a balance or if you have utilized the days limit, it will throw an error. The transaction can go as a failure. But we have never seen a transaction that is getting updated after 3 to 4 days. This is impossible. Right now, how fast this can happen? The moment you scan, you go and enter the amount and you scan it and enter the PIN, UPI PIN. The next 3-4 seconds, the transaction should happen. Well, let me tell you one thing. There is no other technology. There is no other language which can process as fast as SQL. I repeat, why SQL is important? There are no other technology in the world which can process as fast as SQL. I always relate SQL with cheetah, right? So cheetah is the animal. It's the fastest running animal. There is no other animal which can beat cheetah, right? No, there is no other animal which can beat the speed of cheetah. Similarly, there is no other technology in the world which can beat the speed of SQL. It comes with like a lightning speed. Like a lightning speed. You just simply go and transact it and immediately it will go, and maybe it depends on your internet, depends on your where you are, and depends on the network. Everything is acceptable. But if everything is good, it will happen within milliseconds. How many of you notice this? You scan it, the next second it will be showing the green screen, successful screen, right? And you know why I'm calling this as one of the best? There is no other technology they have invented so far which can match the speed of SQL. Impossible, right? Now, not only this, you send money to someone immediately. You do a GPay or a phone pay or a Paytm, and the next minute the number should get reflected. Now that's the immediate transaction that happens. Now this type of immediate transactions is called OLTP. Okay, let's see what is this OLTP. Now let's go back to the slide which we did not understand. There are two type of databases that you can do a two type of processing, right? And those are OLTP, OLAP. So OLTP stands for online transactional processing. That means the transaction should be as fast as possible, like sending a amount to someone or scanning something. There should not be any lag. Not even 1 minute I need to wait in the shop. Go scan it and come back. Now that fast should be. There is no other technology which can be best in order to deal this. So I would say your OLTP stands for online transactional processing, and there is nothing as fast as SQL. And that is why even after 50 years, today I'm still crowning this database language, which there is no other thing which can match the speed, right? Now, this is fine. I've seen the balance. I've seen this. Let me see another example. Let me see another example. Somewhere you have seen this. Where is this? What is this?
Yes, when booking the
Not sure. Movie theater, sir. When we book online ticket.
seat reservation.
This is actually a book my show ticket booking. Okay. The moment you block the seat, okay. So this is a all booked one. This is all empty one. And each ticket is 112 rupees. 112 into 2, it's 224. So 224 I need to pay. Since you have selected this seat, the next minute if someone goes and logs in, maybe your friends or someone else, this seat, it is still not booked. You're actually in progress, but it will show as blocked because the transaction is already in progress. Right? You try this. You take two smartphones. In one phone, you book the ticket. Don't pay. Just try to, they'll give 5 to 10 minutes for transaction to complete. Immediately you go and look into another phone. That seat will be showing blocked. Now that is where the database is completely in sync. Again, I'm saying there is no other technology which can match the speed of SQL transactions. And that is why today it has been crowned as one of the best in the world, right? It is, just imagine it's like a cheetah. No other animal can match the speed of cheetah. No other technology can match the speed of SQL, right? I have given you three examples. One is book my show tickets. One is scanner, and one is you're doing a GPay or a phone pay to your friend. All this, just remember that it cannot wait. Either you see something happened means you give an error message, transaction failed, network no network, or some issue, right? Something you tell, but I don't want to be waiting. That waiting is not allowed in this type of transactions, which is called OLTP, online transactional processing. No waiting business here. No waiting. I can't even wait 1 minute. Every transaction should happen within milliseconds. I'm not even talking about seconds. 60 seconds? No, I cannot wait. It should happen within milliseconds. And that technology which I can use for this type of transactions is SQL, and that is why it is famous, right? Okay. Now we talked about the first one. Which is nothing but online transactional processing. Now there is another one which is called online analytical processing. Let's see what is that. Now everyone would have watched this movies in Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hotstar, and etc., whatever you have OTT platforms. I'm not that big fan of OTT platforms, so you know it better, where you see all the movies, right? So I've taken a very popular OTT platform which is called Netflix. Okay, now I'll tell you what happens in the Netflix. You first register with your phone number or email ID. Then you can't even see the movies unless and until you buy the subscription. You buy for a monthly subscription or a yearly subscription. And there also you have an option whether one device can use or two devices can use, that you buy it. Once you buy it, you can go and select the options, whether you want English, Kannada, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, or you want a different way, different type of movies. You can select and you can watch, right? After 2-3 days, you watch movies. After 2-3 days, you watch movies. Immediately, you will get a recommendation. Because you watched Orange is the Next Black, you are getting all these movies. Now, this is called recommendation. The Netflix app is actually recommending you to buy the Netflix is actually recommending to see the movies. What type of movies? Whatever you have seen in the past, the similar movies it is recommending. Now, think twice. This does not have happened to, this does not need to happen in 1 minute. You're sending an amount, you're scanning, yes, accepted. It should happen within seconds. Recommendation will not happen in 1 day. They will monitor your activity. First 3 days, first 4 days, first 5 days, they will actually monitor your activity and they will figure out what type of movies you're watching. Based on that, they are going to recommend you movies. Not only this, your Hotstar, your Prime, first 3-4 days, they will watch your activity. Are you a person who's seeing a lot of comedy shows? Comedy movies will be recommended. Are you so much interested in a biographic movies? Biographic movies will be interested. Maybe are you interested in a romance movies? Maybe romantic movies will come. And that's a recommendation. It will not happen within 1 day. They are going to monitor your activities for the 3 to 4 days, and then they will recommend you what type of movies you have to watch. This doesn't happen in 1 day. That is why I'm saying 2 different databases. One should be as fast as possible, and one maybe it can take 2 to 3 days time. Okay, so it can take 2 to 3 days time, and that is called OLAP system, online analytical processing. So this type of transaction is analytical processing, where it can take 3 to 4 days for processing. This should take 1 to 5 seconds of processing. So see the time difference. It can even take 3 to 4 days for processing. I'm least bothered because after that only you will get to know the what is the movies recommended. But if you talk about the other one, it should happen within 5 seconds. The moment you scan it, it has to go and pay it. That's what OLTP. And the another example which I will give after the Netflix is, let me give a example. And this is also a open challenge to each and everyone in this group. Okay, an open challenge to everyone in this group. That is the iPhone 15 launched or 14 is the latest one?
15.
Is 15 launched?
50 years.
Yes, 50.
Okay. What is the price of 15?
Around 67K.
65.
65K. That's all.
1 lakh.
iPhone 15 Pro is there.
89,000.
iPhone 15 Pro Max is there. What is the difference? 15, 15 Pro, 15 Max. I heard it's 130, 1,30,000 in India. Okay. Anyone has iPhone 15 Pro Max in this group? Anyone having iPhone 15 Pro Max in this group? Anyone?
No.
No.
No,
Why?
Android, sir.
No, Santosh.
Not even a single person?
No, I have an Android, sorry.
Not even a single person? 65 people are there, including me.
No.
I have a 15 Pro, but not Max.
Okay. Actually, I can read your mind. Okay. I'm actually a mind reader. Okay. I'm thinking, if I have iPhone 15 Pro Max, why will I sit in your class and why will I join this course? Is it true?
Exactly, I was thinking the same.
It's too true.
Right? If I have an iPhone Pro Max, if I have an iPhone Pro Max, why should I sit in your class?
Correct.
Right? Now,
You're
this is the costliest phone. This is the costliest phone. Okay. Now, I'll tell you a small story. This happened with me. Okay. I'm not an iPhone fan, actually. Lot of gifts I get, but I give it to someone. I don't use iPhones. Okay. I don't like it. For me, it's always Android. Okay. Now, there is a small story I'll tell you. Okay. And in fact, I'm a 90 kid, right? So 90s kids, you know, right? So 90s kids, we all know we have to ask permission for everything what we buy. We have to ask permissions to our mom, right? I mean, dad doesn't bother, but usually mom is one whom we have to ask permissions, right? Now, not I'm talking about 15. I wanted to buy iPhone 13 Plus. When? In 2021. In 2021, 13 was famous. Okay, I wanted to buy 13 Plus. I just went to my mom and I asked, can I buy 13 Plus? iPhone 13 Plus. She was like, okay. She asked me what is the price. I told it's 1,19,000 Indian rupees. Okay. One stare, she actually looked at me. She just started staring at me and she scolded me like anything. Are you going to spend 1,19,000 for a phone? Right? Are you going to spend 1,19,000 for a phone? What is there in this? Maximum, you will attend the calls. Maximum you'll attend the calls. And you people, I mean, you will never even reply to me or you not even reply to anyone. For that, you need an iPhone. She started scolding me anything like, it's a waste, you're wasting money, right? You still don't know the value of money. You're buying an iPhone which is 1,19,000, right? So I felt bad because I started earning, but I thought, okay, at least let me buy what I feel like buying. So she started scolding, invest this in gold, invest this in mutual fund, invest this in LIC policies, invest this in health insurance. It will be helpful for you in future. This is asset. It will just degrade its value. If you break it, it's gone. So don't buy all this. Invest this 1 lakh in something which is useful for your future, right? So I felt bad. So what I did, listen carefully to the story. Listen carefully to the story. Day one, I added the product, that is iPhone, to the cart. You know what is cart, right? Before buying, we add to the cart. So I added to the cart and the price was 1,19,000. After adding to the product to the cart, I showed to my mom. My mom scolded like anything. So I removed from the cart. Okay. And you know, right? Indian kids, if you want to have, I mean, if you want something to happen, you do a strike. You don't eat food at home and you don't sleep properly. You'll always sit in a corner of the sofa and automatically your mom will come back and ask you what happened. This happens with Indian culture, right? Same thing I did. Couple of days, I did not even open my mouth. Everything, whatever she prepared, I said no, no, no. Right? Obviously, we can show anger to only our mom, right? So I did the same thing. I said that no, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to buy iPhone. If you're not going to agree, I'm not going to eat. That strike, what happened? Day two, she said, okay, you buy the iPhone. Again, I added to the cart. She said, okay, you have one life, right? We are all living for one life. We may not get this life again. We are all here to enjoy our life. Why are we earning? Why have you all joined this course? To get an high package. Why you need an high package? You want to enjoy your life. Traveling, food, enjoying with friends, right? That's why we have joined here, right? So my mom told, okay, you're struggling day and night. Okay, you buy whatever you want. So the day one, she was scolding. Day two, she was like bit started showing the care. Okay, she said, okay, you buy, you are earning, right? You buy it. So I was felt very happy. Day two, I again added to the cart. Okay. Then what we do again, we start researching about this product. And I also did the same thing. After adding to the cart, I started to ask my friends now. Day two, I started asking my friends. And then again, a shocker for me, my friends started giving a negative feedback. Hey, don't buy iPhone. There's nothing there except camera. There is nothing, right? So they started giving negative feedback. 1,19,000 you're buying and it doesn't have anything except camera and it doesn't have RAM. After 2-3 years, the phone performance will degrade. So what is the purpose of buying 1,19,000? I started to get negative feedback. I got a green signal from my mom, but my friends started giving negative feedback because they already started using 12 and 13. So they said that don't waste your money. I felt really sad. My mom is agreeing, but because of my friends' feedback, I have to again drop off. Even I felt 1,19,000, is it really worth? Okay. Day three, again, I started researching. I started to see feedback. Okay. I started to see feedback and again, I started to add to the cart. See, I'll add to the cart and to some reason I'll remove from the cart. This I was doing 3 days continuously. Now, end of story. Let's think from Amazon perspective. You know what Amazon is thinking? What happened to this guy? He's coming, he's interested, he's browsing, he's adding to the cart, he's not buying. He's coming, he's adding to the cart, he's browsing, he's about to buy, he's not buying. Again, third day, he's coming, he's browsing, he's choosing the colors, he's choosing the accessories, he's adding the cart, he's not buying. What is wrong with this guy? This is what Amazon thinks. This is what Amazon thinks. Now, from Amazon perspective, they would have got this phone for 87,000, but they're selling for 119K. They're making a huge profit of 33K, 30 plus K. Okay. Now, fourth day, you know what happened? Fourth day, day 1, day 2, day 3, I added, I removed it. 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 First, I'll add it to the cart, then I'll remove it. Add it to the cart, then I'll remove it. I have done this 3 times. Fourth day, to my surprise, you know what Amazon did? 119. They've scratched this and they have made 99,999 only. This happened to me. This happened to me. Now, what Amazon is thinking, something is stopping this guy to buy. Let me give him offers. Let me give him discounts. Let me give him cashbacks. Let me do that. At least now he will buy. See, even now Amazon will make profit only because they are getting for 87K. They're still selling for 99. They're still gaining 12K. So something is better than nothing. If you have not purchased, you would have not got it. Now what my mind is thinking, hey, 6-digit price has now become to a 5-digit. 99,900 we are thinking as a 5-digit. But if you add 1, it again becomes 6. That's called human mentality. They play with human mentality and they suddenly scratch the original price and they give as 99,999. This happens for each and every product in Amazon. You keep on browsing that product for 3 to 4 days. Automatically, Amazon will think there's something this is stopping for this guy to buy. Let me give him offers, discounts, cashback, 0 EMI, HDFC 10%, Kotak 15%. All these offers will start flowing in. This type of things is another example for OLAP system. They're not going to give you an immediate offer. They're going to monitor your activity for 3 days. Exactly, they did the same thing. 3 days, how many times I'm logging in, how many times I'm adding to the cart, how many times I'm removing, how many times I'm reading the feedback, how much time I'm spending on the page. Every single step they have tracked. That's what the company does. They've tracked my activities for 3 to 4 days. Wherever I open the site, automatically one pop-up will come, iPhone, iPhone, iPhone. That's the advertisement they do. And finally, they have given me the offer. And the offer is 99,999. Now, this is what they give the suggestions or recommendations after 3-4 days. Now, that is what again is a OLAP system. 1 minute if you add and come back, next time they are not going to give 99,000. They have to monitor for 3 to 4 days. They know that you're not buying for some other reason. Maybe they think that you're feeling like it's overpriced. Only for you, they'll start giving the discounts. But maybe if your friend is logging for the first time, for him, maybe the original price may be there. Or maybe for you, they would have given a 0% EMI. Maybe for your friend, they would have given a processing fees of 750. Some or the other difference will be there because recommendation works on user basis. Okay. Now, with this story, an open challenge to everyone who is attending class today. An open challenge to everyone who is attending the class today. Okay. If you win this challenge, KSR will present you 15 iPhone 15 Pro Max, which is a costliest one, which is 1,45,000 something. We will gift you for free of cost if you win this challenge, right? If you win this challenge, KSR will give you a new box piece iPhone 15 Pro Max, which is worth of 1,45,000. None of you have this in this batch. So if you win this challenge, you will win this. Okay. So are you all ready? What you need to do? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
First thing, choose a product in Amazon. You can choose Amazon iPhone only, your wish. Choose a product in Amazon. Day 1, before adding to the cart, take screenshot. Screenshot is a proof for me to see the price. Okay, you have to take a screenshot. Let's say you have taken iPhone. You take a screenshot. 1,19,000. Take a screenshot. Okay. Let it be in the cart for 2 hours. Then remove it. Then again you have to take a screenshot because whether you're doing or not, I should see, right? So again, take a screenshot after removing from the cart. Day 2. So the way I need to take the screenshots is I need to see the time, date and all. Okay, that type of screenshots you need to take. Day 2, again add to the cart. wait for 2 hours, remove from the cart, screenshot. Okay. Day 3, add to the cart, remove the cart, remove from the cart. Day 3. Day 4, do the same thing. Day 4, listen carefully. Day 4, if you don't see any single offer, discount, cashback, EMI, anything, if you don't see, KSR will give you what you have selected for free of cost, or we will give you iPhone 15 Pro Max. If you don't see even a single change that has happened to the price on the day 1, you would have taken a screenshot, right? You would have not had any offer, discounts, cashback. It was a straightforward. Day 4, if you don't see any single change, even a small change, like they will not even added a cashback, or they've not even reduced a single rupee, by chance, if this happens to you, KSR will gift you iPhone 15 Pro Max. Is a challenge accepted?
Yes, sir.
Sir, we know it's
Yes,
impossible,
Santosh.
but
Sorry,
It is impossible.
can you all try it?
Yes, we
I
can.
already tried. I had a laptop. They gave us like 53,000 initially,
Hmm?
and after 2-3 days, they decreased the price 49,000.
Right. You know how confident I'm telling all this? Okay, I've been telling for all the 3,000, 4,000 students whom I've trained in the last 1 year. I've been telling the same story. No one has even won an iPhone 15 Pro Max. The reason is this is what Amazon does. And you know what? I'm actually an ex-employee of Amazon. I know in and out of Amazon. Before joining Microsoft, I was working in Amazon. I know exactly what they do, how they recommend the users, how they increase the price, decrease the price, how they manipulate the how they make us interested to buy. All the stories we have seen, this is what they do. Even if you try it, small change, at least you will get it. That's how they recommend this. Very confidently, if I'm saying the KSR will give 1,45,000 without even asking KSR, I'm giving you this, means you should understand that this is 100% true. This is what it happens. But provided it will not happen on day 1. It will not happen on day 1. You have to keep on using that for 4 to 5 days or 3 to 4 days, depending on that your activity, how many times you come, how many times you remove, how many times you add. So the Amazon will get confused. What happened to this guy? He's coming, is not buying, is coming, is not buying. What is stopping him? Because the more you're using the Amazon traffic without buying anything, it's a loss for them. You're simply coming and using the prices. I never purchase anything in Amazon. Maybe because I'm Amazon employee, I don't buy, because I always see Amazon for price only. I see the price and I go and buy in the showroom because I can get immediately. I need not wait for 2-3 days, right? So that's a thing that I do. But it's a loss for Amazon because I'm just utilizing the website for pricing. I don't buy it. So Amazon don't want that. They start giving you some recommendations. They'll give some discounts. All this happens, and it is happening because they want you to buy. And very straightforward, something is better than nothing. Rather than selling for 119, if you still send it for 99, you will still get the profit. So even if you try this 100%, this will happen. And this is what we call it as OLAP system, where the transactions can be updated after 3 to 4 days. Whereas your ATM transactions, you go to your ATM, you just pull out your ATM card and you enter your PIN. Immediately your bank account will go and change the bank balance. You have 10,000 in your bank. You just go and withdraw 2,000. You may not get message because of your network, but if you go and check the statement, the 2,000 will be detected. Even if you are withdrawing at night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, your still transactions will be updated. And that happens within 3 to 4 seconds, or I can call it as the scanner which you're doing, it happens in 3 to 4 seconds. This is called online transactional processing. And Netflix or your Amazon portal, where it analyzes your activity for 3 to 4 days and then it gives you offers, discounts, cashbacks, or recommended movies. This is called online analytical processing. These two concepts is very important in SQL. Please don't forget this. Don't forget my story which I've told, so that you will remember OLAP and OLTP for rest of your life. Whether you're a data engineer, data scientist, or a data analyst, or you're working in any technology, this concept is so important that you will be doing all of this in the real time. Okay. Now, I will ask you one question here. I'll ask you one question. I told you SQL can be related to your cheetah. Okay, it can be related to your cheetah. Why cheetah? There is no other technology which can match the speed of cheetah, correct?
SQL.
Now, whatever SQL is there, SQL execution, it is as fast as cheetah. That means there is no other technology which can match the speed of SQL, right? All good now. Now, there is another animal. Let's talk about, let's say cat. Cat and cheetah, it's like a same, I would say, a same shape and all, but maybe, I mean, face and all will be the same, but yeah, only the size matters, right? Now, if I have a race between cheetah and cat, listen carefully. This statement is very important. Okay, this statement is very important. Can cat run faster than cheetah?
No.
No. Straightforward answer, no. Can cat run as fast as cheetah? No. Second answer, second question. Can cheetah walk as slow as cat?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Are you getting the
No.
statement?
Yes.
Can cat run as fast as cheetah? No.
No.
Straightforward, no. But if I ask you reverse, can cheetah walk as slow as possible like cat? Possible.
Yes.
Right? It's possible. So I would say for both online processing as well as analytical processing, your SQL can be used. If you want to process faster also, you use it. If you want to run slower also, use it. But if cheetah is walking as slow as cat, it doesn't make sense. So I will avoid using SQL for online transactional process. It can do. It can do. I'm not saying it cannot. Right? So cheetah can walk slow, cheetah can run fast, but it is known for fast. I will use it for fast processing. I will use online transactional processing because there is no other technology in the world which can match the speed of SQL. So I would always prefer online transactional processing for cheetah. But for this, you can do in SQL, but you also have the other systems. Like you have Hadoop systems, Hive systems, like lot of analytical systems are there, which is best for. If I want to walk very slowly, I would choose tortoise or I would choose cat. Why will I choose cheetah, right? So like this, depending on the database, I can choose the type of the transactions I need. But SQL is known to be one of the evergreen. That is why even after 53 years, we have never replaced SQL. That is how your SQL is important, right? So I would like to give a pause here. Any questions?
Yes, Santosh, just general question. So how they imagine people manage this thing? Machine manage all these things, like customers are in billions and the employees are
See,
in strength very less.
there is a lot of background in this, like they work with big data technologies, they work with there is something called Spark, which they manage in a parallel processing. So there is a big history of it, but in our scope, right, we are not focusing on the backend, we are focusing on the reports, like how many transactions happened in the last 1 hour, how much of amount they have purchased, and what is the total sales made, what is the profit made. That will be a role. But how it is happening, it's a big story that they come up with some of the big data systems. They go with parallel processing. So there's a lot of history of it. So that is something which is out of context here. But just to give you the idea, there is a big system which takes care of it.
Thank you.
Any other question? Today, I have proved you why SQL is important. There is no other technology which can match the speed of SQL transaction within 3 to 4 seconds. And that is why even now it is famous. Are we good?
Yes.
Yeah, one
Yes,
question from my
Santosh.
side.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Santosh,
Yes.
one question from my side. So this OLTP and OLAP, so every transaction and every SQL transaction falls under these two categories.
Yes.
Is it? Is there any other category?
No.
No.
Either it can be OLAP or it can be OLTP. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Either it can run fast or it can run slow.
Okay. Either it's behind the in the background application, or it's from the front end application. So it's like it will fall under this category.
Yes. Any other questions? Please be on mute. I'm getting a lot of disturbance. It's from Shriram. Shriram, can you please be on mute? Okay, so today we have covered what is SQL, the history of SQL, and the most important thing, why is SQL important. Tomorrow we are going to cover what database we are going to learn, because we have to communicate to a database. So tomorrow we are going to learn the popular databases. In that we are going to choose MySQL, and also as a next step we are focusing on the installation. Okay, so that will be the next class topic. Any other questions? Okay, so if you don't have any questions, tomorrow we'll continue with what are the database that we are going to learn, and we'll focus on the installation, and tomorrow onwards we will see the practicals. Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you.